Good morning and happy Tuesday, 10 at 10. I am your host, Richard Charpentier, and every Tuesday we gather to discuss questions, and I try to provide answers within a 10-minute format. So let's get started. So, one question is coming from someone asking wrinkles on my burger bun on the top of it after slicing and packing, and what could be causing it. Well, it's could be quite a lot of different factors contributing to that. So if you break it down and you start from the beginning, I would say, what flour do you use? What protein content flour? What hydration did you use? Was your dough very soft? Are you using any emulsifiers in your dough? How long are you mixing the dough for? Do you have any dough conditioner system that could be affecting, you know, quite a big oven spring, a big expansion in the oven, and as it's cooling down. So that's one. That's mixing. On the makeup, if you have an automated line, few factors could also contribute. Your baking, what you're proofing as well could have contributing to that. And again, not knowing, and I'm going through in my head of a bakery process and making buns. You coming out, what is the internal temperature that you're baking at? Are you applying some type of a glaze on the top, which would create an early crust, and that could create some wrinkling? As if you can see, if you have a brioche, and over time, it starts to be a little wrinkly. Uh, and the main part is, what temperature do you package the buns? Because you said they're wrapped into a sleeve or some sort. So do you have a certain packaging? What kind of packaging do you have? What's the temperature, internal temperature of the bun going into the packaging? What's the temperature of the bakery when you're packaging? As a rule of thumb, when you're packaging, they often say you should be within 10 degrees Fahrenheit, plus or minus. So if it's 90 degrees in your bakery, you should ensure that once you pack the buns, they're around 80 to maybe 100 degrees max to the 90 degrees, the plus or minus 10. Anything other than that, which if you were to put into a packaging, will create condensation in the packaging because of the difference in temperature. And if you have extra moisture, it will wrinkle up. So, and if your packaging also doesn't the MVTR, the moisture vapor transfer rate, each packaging has specifications. And if you're just using packaging and putting them there, and the temperature is off and it will transpire, therefore creating condensation, humidity within the packaging, those buns will wrinkle up. So I'm trying to tell you, I'm not saying there's one versus the other, but from a personal experience, there's always many, many different factors contributing to problems. And based on professional and personal experience, it's never one thing. It's often several little things that will contribute to a bigger issue. So hopefully, it helped that, we took you through the beginning, till the packaging and potential issues of where it could happen. But thank you for sending your question. Now to our next question. Someone in the world of edibles, meaning edibles, for those who do not know, are cakes or cookies made with THC or marijuana, and it's what being referred as edible in the US market. And they're asking, can they use potassium sorbate in edibles? Yes, yes, yes. The rules do the same rules as you do traditional baking apply for edibles. It's no difference. So if you're trying to extend the shelf life, all the same principles of shelf life extensions that I've used for bakeries do apply for edibles as well, because you're still using flour and eggs and whatever you bake to make your cake. And the only difference is you're adding a certain amount of THC into your product, which, once it's there and it's very regulated, the rest will have to be controlled. Often people use their THC as a way, as a fat, using on a fat carrier. So you just have to worry about the fat oxidation, but mold will also affect your product the same way. So please, have a good sanitation program. Use potassium sorbate, but know your pH and water activity of your product. What kind of packaging do you have? Do you need any potential enzyme to help with the starch retrogradation, meaning you do not want your product to stale up too quickly? So, and if you need further assistance, further help, I recommend you go to the Bakerpedia website and look for bakery resources where you can hire a consultant, someone who has experience with shelf life and shelf life extension of bakeries, and just get a little contract, or even a day or half a day or an hour, and go through your process and how you can better achieve your desired shelf life. And remember, any investment done in R&D early on, it's money being saved. I know a lot of people will try to take shortcuts and say, well, I don't need it. But remember what we do as soon as you make a product. I know there's a lot of talented bakers, but once we deal with shelf life extension, we're talking about science, we're talking about chemistry, and we're talking about product safety. So always know where to invest in the right place, as well as your process, to ensure how your product will stay good and consistent for a longer time. And that's how will differentiate you from the rest. So good question though. So that's it for today. But before we go, I had the opportunity to be a judge, the certified master baker at the Puratos facility in New Jersey, part of the Retail Bakers Association, the RBA, and just promoting the Bakery School United States. So where they are, with the collaboration of Puratos Food Ingredients, they are launching the first bakery schools in the US to train bakers. So I'm a big believer in education, and same as Bakerpedia, more educated bakers, the better the industry will be. So kudos to that. I really a big believer of that, and I can't wait to see more and more bakers receiving education through proper training. So thank you very much. I will see you next week, and happy Tuesday 10 at 10 to you guys.